Good afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Booty. We hope you haven't missed us too much because of the cricket, but we are so glad to be back.
I know. I'm so excited to be back. I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
You haven't. I've grown taller since you last saw me.
I was about to say, I've grown taller, but anyway. Good to see you, Bonnie.
We mentioned on the show yesterday that the Afternoon Express family is growing, and we're very excited to announce the details later on. So stay tuned for that. But today's show is definitely going to be a controversial one. And before we get into it, I just want to mention that we will be tackling some sensitive topics and issues, so parental discretion is advised.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't wait to introduce you to our little guests. But now, as a woman, being confident in your own body is an incredibly powerful attribute. But using your body to get what you want in life comes with its own set of risks and consequences. Today, we tackle this topic from all angles.
It's going to be an interesting one. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And joining us is author Jackie Phamotse, whose latest novel, Bear, delves into the dark side of the world of being a blessee. And many young women in South Africa are drawn into this world of money and luxury. But it's not all glamour and high society. And the book is inspired by her own personal experience.
Yeah, it's definitely a page turn. I really recommend getting it. Now, our first guest today has gained a huge amount of media attention over the past year for her unapologetic attitude and larger-than-life personality and controversial dance moves, but it's not always in a positive light.
Yeah, I wish I had her knees. Because she can stay in this position for like, I don't know how long.
Well, look, you're getting there.
Many have criticized her bold and daring public presentation, but she claims that women should be proud of their bodies and flaunt what they've got. It's Zodwa Wabantu.
Those moves. Welcome to Afternoon Express. So lovely to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you.
And how do you stay so fit for real? Because I can't even bend that low for too long unless I'm doing squats.
Yeah.
And I have to. But you can go low.
I don't exercise. I don't go to the gym. I think it's the dancing.
It's the dancing.
Yeah, it's the dancing.
So how did this idea to dance and get paid to dance come about?
After a monthly salary. I know everyone thinks I didn't work. I came to Durban as a debt collector. I was working for a company firm called Lenma Debt Collectors. So I didn't know anyone from KZN. I would take myself out with my money. So the camera from this Chisanyama took love in me or my dancing. Then they would post my pictures as in Zodwa has entered this so-called Chisanyama or this nightclub. Then they will post, then people will be like, when does she cook? When does she mind her husband, with, you know, all the criticism whatsoever. Then I saw that that means they are curious about me, you know, because they could just pass my picture. There are so many pictures on that page of...
But it started way before then. It started way before you dancing at the Chisanyama. What was your upbringing like? And what led you to first being in certain places dancing?
Yeah. Growing up, I had a hard childhood, very hard, you know. I'm from Soweto originally, from the dusty streets of Soweto. It's a dark childhood. I wouldn't say it's dark as in I'm embarrassed now or I will cry about it. I'd rather share it that I'm not a cheese girl or I had...
And
two eggs for breakfast.
You lost your parents at a young age?
Yeah, and I moved out of home when I was 16 because there was a need of taking myself from home. So I said, if I could take care myself from home, I might as well be outside, be a grown-up, you know,
Yeah, and because you're Zodwa Wabantu, I put out the question on Twitter because I wanted it to be an interview, Yabantu, and I wanted Abantu to be able to ask you questions. And one of the questions that stood out for me is people kept asking, how did you get this I don't care attitude? I don't care what you say about me. I'm just going to keep doing what it is that I think is right for me. How do you develop that attitude?
From an early age, as I said, from going back when I was 16, what can really happen to me now? When I left home when I was 16, I didn't know where I was going to sleep or eat. Now you can't do whatever. You can say I'm a monkey, I'm a donkey, I'm ugly, or you can name it. There's nothing that can make me really go home and say I'm sad, you know. Or Bonimbuli said I'm a donkey, or I'm Van Damme, or I'm Schwarzenegger. There's nothing, because that character, I've built it for myself, that I need to be out on the street to survive. So this is where I am from the age of 16 to now. So I'm not lost. You rather be worried that since I left home when I was 16, now I'm on SABC3 at Afternoon Expresso. Be worried that where I'm going to be in 5 years' time. That means I'm going to be a millionaire.
And that's obviously the end goal. But I absolutely love how you just don't care. And because in your heart, you know who you really are.
Yes, thank you.
What was the transition to actually, because, I mean, we like to go out and party, but actually earning money going out and partying and dancing is a different story. So what was that moment in your life where it actually became work for you instead of just fun?
I saw how I was invited by radio stations, papers writing about me, or YouTube reaching millions of views, while I'm not even that dancer. As in, let's say Bonimbuli is a musician. Remember being a dancer, I would say I used to dance for Bonimbuli. Then I would say, yes, I'm a dancer because Bonimbuli was a musician. Then I was a backup dancer for Bonimbuli. So I was eating my own 5 rand with my own, you know, the drink that I always carry on my hand. So it was more of living my life. But because they gave me the attention, then I used that, oh, you're giving me attention, I might as well now that I won't go to this certain place or this nightclub or all these chisanyamas. If they say Zodwa, because they used to call me and say, Zodwa, Bonimbuli is here, Teniti is here, they want to see you. Then I'd be like, wow, I might as well charge.
I went
then that's how...
I went to Eyadini and I was looking for you. I was hoping to see you. Instead, I got my meat stolen. They stole my meat, Eyadini. And I tweeted about it. And everyone says, I must please come back to Eyadini because they won't steal. Make sure no one steals my meat again. But I was hoping to see you that day. So but the question I have is, the part where you actually remove your underwear and you dance pantyless, is that an idea that came to you from home? You were like, when I get there today, I'm taking off my panties, it's going to be lit?
No.
Or were you dancing and then you were like, how about I just take these panties off?
On that night, it was in December, then there was this commotion with my panty. I listened to the haters, the lovers that love Zodwa. Some they're saying, Zodwa, you're boring, please wear a panty. Then I wear that panty. I go to Woolworths and buy panties for them. Then I go on the show. On that day, I traveled 4 cities. Tite Jira booked a private jet. We killed 4 shows in one night. Private, baby. So we arrived in that place around 4 o'clock. People were chanting, we want Zodwa, we want. Then I got on stage. Then they were like, Zodwa, we can see something blue. You're wearing a panty now. Then they said, keep panty, as in take off the panty, take off the panty. So because I'm a people's person, I listen to my fans, not to what the media wants or the so-called celebrities or the so-called live people that, you know, that stay at home and discuss us. I listen to the people who are there with me, who are having fun with me, who have paid money to be with me. You understand? So if you were sleeping because you are a housewife, you have kids, and you believe you are so highly educated that this girl is disgusting. Remember, it's not about you. You were not there. We're
Yeah.
not doing it for
Yeah.
you. We're doing it for the party goers.
Yeah.
We understand one another. We are, whether you call us witches because we party at night, we sleep during the day, we are old. It's okay.
Yeah.
We understand each other.
Yeah.
Remember, we are different from you guys.
So what I find very interesting for me is, I mean, when you dance pantyless, people, especially men, immediately assume that you're promiscuous and it's because you want to sleep around and da 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 da. Which you've stressed that that's not the case.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I then say, I'm a mother, I've got 2 sons, and
Yeah.
you're a mom and you have a son.
Yes.
What are you going to do about the time in his life when he's being confronted about your pantylessness?
Yeah.
You know, how do you kind of expect to, like, what are you teaching him
gonna say
about
to
that
him?
and what that means for you and for him?
Okay. Growing up, my life was hard. Don't mind me. I'm so sorry. I know this. He's gonna watch it maybe
Oh,
when
I don't
he's.
mind you. I love you.
Thank you so much. Whatever that I'm doing for my son.
Right, right.
He's gonna. When he turns 18, I want him to buy him a car. So he will decide whether to roll that window and listen, or he's gonna roll it up and say, oh, let me move along. Because I'm 18, now I'm focusing on my life. At least my mom left me a paid up house. My mom bought me everything that anytime that I feel if the streets are hard or whatsoever, but my mom bought me a pillow to rest. So imagine my mom never left me a house.
Yeah.
I was forced to be staying with cousins. We'll fight for a brown bread. You'll eat like two slices of bread, 8 eggs. You will eat one eggs. You understand?
Yeah.
Life was hard. So what really could be bad for my son, that I've left everything for him to mind what you are saying or whatever that people are gonna be saying.
And the
he
fact
must
is-
go to school because I'm doing so much for him.
Yeah.
Then he will have his own life to
He'll decide.
This is his, not mine. Mine, I've lived mine. Even if I will be hit by a bus, I don't regret anything. I'm cashing in as much as I can. I won't listen to anyone. Guys, listen to me, SABC3 and people out there at home.
Yeah.
I don't kill anyone. I'm a genuine person. I'm raw. I know I'm not like you. Like, you know, you are so fake anyway. You act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You understand? Life is hard. Life is hard, guys. You understand? I know there are people who have big walls. They only look at the pony and say, "Oh, I wonder when she's gonna be," you know, because that's how the so-called people live. But us down there on the streets, this is the attitude you need to survive.
Yeah.
You understand?
Wow.
This is the attitude. Not long ago, I was in.
Shame. So we're going to have to stop you there because we're going to come back to you in a
Okay.
little
Yeah,
while.
you're not
we do
going
have
anywhere.
another segment of this interview. We're going to keep you there for a little while longer.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And Zoto will be treating us to a performance later on in the show, so make sure you stay tuned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Join in on the online conversation. We are asking, how far would you go to achieve your goals? Let us know on Facebook or Twitter using our official hashtag Afternoon Express.
Absolutely. And after the break, we sit down with renowned author Jackie Phamotse, whose latest book, Bear, delves into the dark side of the life of a blessee. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Express yourself.
Presenter Search on 3 is back on SABC3. Do you have the personality